This is a presentation of the Office of Student Access and Completion, and we are part of the Higher Education Coordinating Commission for the state of Oregon. All right, so first of all, what is GPA verification for Oregon Promise? This is a process where high school registrars or other high school staff can use our secure OSAC high school portal to confirm whether seniors at your school meet the 2.50 GPA requirement for Oregon Promise. The good thing is that with GPA verification, a student does not need to provide a transcript with their Oregon Promise application. And when you participate and use GPA verification, you help your students access free money for college through Oregon Promise faster and easier. Some other benefits of participating in GPA verification: you'll likely spend less time verifying GPAs than you would providing a transcript to a student who's applying. So with one click of a button for each student, their GPA is verified. And when you verify GPAs, our office can process and review students' Oregon Promise applications more quickly so that students can learn about their application status sooner. And this will help students make earlier decisions about college. Also, with your high school portal account, you have the option to upload transcripts for OSAC scholarship applicants. That is a separate process in our portal, but you can do that through your account as well. That process has closed for this year, but thinking ahead to next year when the scholarship application is open again, you can participate in uploading transcripts for the scholarship applicants. If you're looking to sign up to verify GPAs, there is a form on our website which we'll show you during the demo. You simply need to complete that form and then we'll set up an account for you. You should use this form if you currently do not have an OSAC high school portal account, or if you do have an account but you don't see the GPA verification tab when you log in, you can also complete that form so that we can update your account. Who should sign up for GPA verification? Typically, it's high school registrars, but it could be other staff at your high school who have regular access to view students' grades and transcripts. Also, if you're already signed up and you have an OSAC high school portal account, but your account is inactive, go ahead and contact us. Every user's account automatically will need to be reactivated each year, and you need to reach out to our office so that we can reactivate your account. So you can send us an email or fill out one of the feedback forms on our website. So a lot of high school staff wonder when they should be verifying GPAs, when's the best time to do that, so we have some guidance for you. And this is different for different groups of students. As Kyra mentioned, there are 3 different deadlines for students depending on when they graduate. So right here you can see for students who are graduating in the spring, so they're applying to start Oregon Promise in the fall cohort, you can start verifying these students' GPAs once your first semester grades are available. That's different at each school, but typically that's between December and February. So as soon as those grades are available, you can log into the portal and start verifying. And then the final deadline to verify GPAs for this group of students is July 10th. As soon as you have final grades available, we encourage you to finish up with GPA verification, but that final deadline is July 10th. The other group of students will be students who are graduating early, and these students are applying to start Oregon Promise in either the winter or spring cohort. And you can start verifying their GPAs once the Oregon Promise application opens, which is each year in September. And then the verification deadline for these groups of students will be 1 week after the application deadline. So for students who are applying to start Oregon Promise in the winter cohort, you'll need to verify their GPAs by November 8th each year. And students who are starting in the spring cohort, you need to verify their GPAs by February 8th. And here are a few tips just in general. We encourage you to verify GPAs early and often. So as soon as it's available for each cohort, get in there and verify GPAs for applicants. And then set a reminder for yourself in your calendar, in your phone, to verify GPAs every 1 to 2 weeks so that you can verify for any new students who've applied. And then be sure to go through and check your list again, look for any new applicants before the final deadline for verification for each cohort. I want to explain a little bit and answer some questions about the 2.50 GPA requirement. First of all, this is based on a student's cumulative unweighted GPA. So we don't accept weighted GPAs for this. We also do not accept rounding of GPAs. So if a student has, say, a 2.50 or a 2.51, then they're eligible. They have met the GPA requirement. But if they have a 2.48 or a 2.49, then please mark them as not met for the GPA requirement because we don't accept that rounding of GPAs. Also, you may have students who are close to a 2.50, but they're not quite there yet. So if when a student first applies, if they have a lower GPA, then you should verify them as not met. However, at the end of the school year, once the final grades are available, you should go back through your list of not met students and see if any of those students were able to raise their grades to a 2.50 or above with their final grades. So we give students that extra opportunity to raise their grades at the end of the school year. You can go back and change a student to met by July 10th if they have raised their grades to a 2.50 or above. A few special situations and questions about GPA verification. You may notice on your list of applicants that a student may be listed twice, and this is because a student may have created more than one account, may have created more than one student portal account, and submitted more than one Oregon Promise application. You don't need to worry about this. You can go ahead and verify the GPA for both applications for that student. There's no need to contact OSAC about that. If a student reaches out to us, we can work with them, but it's not a big deal if the student has more than one application. If you see any students on your verification list who do not currently attend your school, then send us an email with the student's name and their application ID number, and we will reach out to the student and ask them to update their application. So please don't verify any student if they're not attending your school. Just send us an email about it. Also, you'll notice on your verification list that it has a class year next to each applicant. If that class year is not the current year, then you do not need to verify those students. That means that they are not applying during the correct timeline or they're not eligible for the program. So these students, their name will be grayed out and it will say possibly ineligible or inaccurate application. So you don't need to worry about verifying those. And we'll have an example of that type of student in the demo as well. So what happens when a student selects GPA verification in their application? Once they select this in their Oregon Promise application, they will appear on your list to verify. It will also show you their application review status. And whether or not the student's application has been submitted, you should still go ahead and verify their GPA once they appear on your list. Also, in the student's application, they can choose to download an optional hard copy PDF form related to verification and submit that form to you. This form is simply a reminder to the registrar to verify the student's GPA. You can hold on to that form, maybe keep those forms together so that you can ensure that you verified all those students. But you don't need to do anything else with that form or submit it. It's just an optional form for the student. And it really encourages the student to go and talk with their registrar and make sure that that verification is completed on time. Also, in the student's portal, in their application, once they select verification, it's going to look something like this. So in section 5 of the student's application, if they're waiting for their school to verify their GPA, it'll show them a little clock and it will say that the verification has not yet been received. And then in section 5 of their application, it's also going to show them that clock and say that OSAC is waiting for their GPA to be verified. And then once you verify the student's GPA, it will show them a green check mark so that they know that their GPA has been verified. All right, I'm going to pass it back to Kyra, and she is going to go through the demo of how to verify GPAs.
Okay, so for the application, for the GPA verification demo, we're going to start on our homepage of the website, oregonstudentaid.gov. On our homepage, there's many ways to get to the login page for the high school portal. The easiest way is going up to this login button in the top right corner. Then this third option, the high school portal, click that. Here is where you would log into the high school portal. Some of the information Amy talked about earlier to request that login is here in the top right corner. So if you click that, this is where you would fill out if you need a high school portal account or if you need your account updated to have the GPA verification tab, which is this button right here. If you have questions or like forgot your login or your password, it is the button next to request a login. This is the information you would need if you forgot your username or your password or the school code. And so I'm going to drag over another screen where I'm already logged into our test environment for the portal. So this is the home page for the high school portal. Here you can find two ways to get to the GPA verification, either in this Verify Students Meeting Minimum GPA Requirements or the GPA Verification tab. So we're going to click that. So here we have a list of students who are applying for the Fall 2018 cohort. So these students marked that they are graduating from your institution between March 1 and June 30th. Right now it looks like we have a few to verify. And when you're verifying, just look at that class year, the student's name and birthday, and then go through met and not met. We don't really need you to worry about the status of the student's application, as once they appear on your list, as long as they're not grayed out, we do recommend that you verify their GPAs as met or not met, no matter what that status says. And to do that, you just simply click the button, met. And then after you click, the list will sort them based on their met and not met status. This one at the bottom, the one that I didn't verify their GPA for, is the example that Amy mentioned earlier. The student applied and put that they graduated in 2017. So our application kind of gave you that notice and graded out, letting you know that the student's possibly ineligible or they didn't fill out the application correctly. Let's say that these students, at the end of the year, you would go through and look to see if they have now raised their GPA. So you can go back and click met for these students if they were to meet that 2.50 with their final grades. Other things that you can do is up at the top in the Manage Account button. Here's where you will see your username and the email address, and also this fall grades date available. If you do need to make updates as to when your fall grades are available, this is where you will update it. You only need to worry about the month and the day. Our system will take care of updating that year for you. For these students, my list would have been available for me to verify GPAs as of December 31st. If I were to have logged in before that, I would see students who had applied, and it would let me know that I'm not able to verify those students until December 31st when my grades were available. If you do need any help in here during the high school portal process, we have links at the bottom and also a contact us button at the top.
This is Amy again. We also just want to say thank you so much for attending the webinar and getting more familiar with GPA verification and the Oregon Promise Grant. We really rely on the collaboration and partnership with high schools and other programs across the state to, first of all, talk to students and educate them about the grant and also help them through the application process. And when you go in and verify GPAs for these students, it makes that application process so much smoother for the student and quicker as well. So we'll leave this open for a little while. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them into that questions box. But otherwise, just wanted to say thank you for attending and feel free to reach out to us at any time.